Hi everybody, it's Sharon here with another video. Look, that's my hair, the red. I have a wig on and I'm trying to be very different looks, right, for the camera. I actually have a problem with bangs, with wigs with bangs. Okay, so here's my story with wigs, in case you don't feel like reading or ever go to my website or anything. So my aunts were like dying at, first of all, on my father's side, I have 4 aunts. 4 of them died from breast cancer. Okay, then on my other side, my one aunt had back cancer, and then another aunt had skin cancer. So I was going to the doctor, and I was explaining all these cancers to the doctor. I was getting a pap test, and the doctor said, "You should, we have a clinical trial." This was before Angelina Jolie. She goes, "It's a genetic trial. You find out what genetically is wrong with you, and quite often you have more opportunities to get diagnosed and get more treatment. Like you can get checked more in regards to your like in your medical. Like you can get approval for a digital. You can get two pap tests a year, and you can get two mammograms. Now, I know there might all be digital now, but before it was you could get one regular and one digital. Okay, so, and if you have the gene, the cancer gene, then you are eligible for more tests, more opportunities to do preventive work in regards, because your insurance company does see it as a benefit. So here's what I will tell you and warn anybody who's thinking about getting genetic testing. In regards to life insurance, if you do genetic testing, you're in life insurance, you're either going to have a hard time getting it or it's going to be expensive. So before you do any of your genetic testing, I would recommend you definitely have all your life insurance in order, just in case, because you will, in some states, they don't have to give, they can not give you life insurance because of it. And again, you could even, say for instance, you're self-employed and you have to get your own insurance. Also, your rates for your medical will be higher too. So before you do any genetic testing, like if you have a lot of cancer in your family, make sure to have your life insurance in order, or find out all the details you need to in regards to your life insurance. That's really, really important, really, to check out. That's very important because you will be labeled. And this is, they're going to ask you. And now there's, like years ago, they didn't say, do you have the gene for cancer? Have you tested for any genetic, testing? Because there's genetic testing for hypertension. There's genetic testing for diabetes. There's genetic testing for everything now. You can find out what your risks are. That way you can start an early diet. You can start preventative medicine. Like I have higher cholesterol in my family, and I actually am on a specific kind of blood pressure meds to do preventative, to help me preventively. So before you do any of your genetic testing, make sure to have your life insurance, health insurance. Life insurance is the most important one. Because other places you can, you can find places, and you can get life insurance if you are BRCA positive or whatever, genetically positive. Just make sure to do your research diligently, because it's state to state and how they can, look at it. Okay, so my gynecologist told me that, you should do this in trial. So I'm like, okay. So she's like, let me go get the details and everything. And I was just about done, and I called my sister on the phone right there, just had the smock on still, the beautiful hospital smock. And I told her, I said, I'm going to get this genetic testing. We should get it done. She goes, yeah, let's do it together. So, all right, we were doing it together, and I actually was the first one to get the actual genetic testing done myself. And I did find out that I was BRCA2 positive, which is the cancer gene. And you're prone to skin cancer, bladder cancer, breast cancer, ovarian cancer. I don't know. I think that's it. So, we were like, oh my gosh. So I got it, and I was positive. So I had to make a decision. What am I going to do? Am I going to just do the extra testing now and then possibly get a mastectomy and a hysterectomy if I'm positive? Came back positive, and my sisters came back positive too. So we both decided, and I couldn't find a doctor out there. I got a second opinion as well, and I couldn't find a doctor out there that told me to not get a full mastectomy and get a full hysterectomy. No limp, no getting this limp, get the nipple off, get everything off. And again, there's a lot of people who want to keep the nipple and want to stay sexy and don't want to, whatever. So they do limpone. Your risks are lower than they originally were if you have the gene, but they're still not good. Like my risks are just as, my risks are now the same risk. I had a full mastectomy and a full hysterectomy, and my risks are now the normal person's risk for breast cancer or whatever. But my breast cancer is it would be very, I don't have, I have fake breast. So if I get it in there, it's going to be probably a lot more. If there is anything there, it would be very serious, probably all through my body at that point. But anyways, let's not get negative in any way, shape, or form. So my sister did the testing too, like I said, and we both decided to get it. And my sister was going to do all her stuff first. It's just the way it worked, right? She said, I'll do my stuff first. She ended up getting her hysterectomy first. Well, she went to go do her pre-op test. All her pre-op. Because before you get your surgery, and she sent me a text. I have lumps in my breast. And I said, oh, well, don't worry about it. Maybe it's, it's nothing. Maybe it's this. Come to find out, she had stage 2, almost 3 cancer. So if she didn't do anything or she could have died. She would have died. Because it was in her lymph nodes too. Well, anyway, so because she did that, it saved her life. So she got her hysterectomy, and then she got her full, or did she go, she might have did full mastectomy first because she had breast cancer. And then, I don't know how she did it. I don't know. But she did it first, and I got my hysterectomy, and then I waited for my breast because I wanted her to get through all her cancer stuff, all her cancer treatment and stuff like that. So she got through all hers, and to this day, she's doing fine. She has had a few symptoms from the chemo, which have led, she doesn't have her hair at all. Her hair didn't grow back. So, being that her hair didn't grow back was not where I started my wig thing. I started to get into wigs because she lost her hair. And I got into it, and I just did it to play with her at first, and I really started to like it. And then now I help people. I help people who are less, if someone is less fortunate and comes to me and says they don't have enough money, I'll send them a free wig. So that's how I got into my online shop. And then it just progressed from there. And I also have a nursery business, and I'm going to be selling tomatoes too. I do them locally. I'm going to do them online, I think, a little bit, but it depends how I really want to do locally and sell around here. Because of transporting tomatoes is very hard. But anyways, I have, that's how I started my wig business. So, I'm 54, and I was 47 when I got my full hysterectomy and full mastectomy. And I went right into menopause, and it was horrible. Hot flashes were horrible for me. Not my sister. My sister didn't have it as bad. But she's healthy now, which is really good. And, of course, she used to do all her tests, and so do I. But that's how I got into that. So that's my story, in case you wanted to know. And I have a ton of wigs. I probably have about 70 or 80 wigs total. I don't sell them all. Some of them are, if it's not quality or I wouldn't wear it, I don't sell it. I actually got a few things in from China. Some of the vendors, they sent me different stuff to do homeware. Like they sent me a wreath for a door. It's really pretty, but it's so cheap. I'm not even selling it. I bought 2 of them. I think I'll just give them away. So if anybody wants a wreath, send me a message. I'll send it to you. It's free. And or if you know anybody that has cancer and can't afford a wig and they're losing their hair, please contact me. I got brown, I got blonde, I got every color. I got gray, I got red, I got blonde, I got every color. I even have fluorescent. as you can see on my website. I have blue, I have pink. I used to have a lot more like green and stuff, but those wigs, I mean, the ones that I got were really cheap. And then most of my colored wigs are like costume, and they're not very expensive because they're not real expensive wigs. So, and I don't really even make money on them. But this video is going to be cut short. Like, follow, share. Thanks.